if you would like to see me build an Airbnb, then stay on this video. Hello guys, it is K-Spade and welcome back to my channel. And as I said in the intro, I'm going to be building an Airbnb. Now, this isn't just any B&B, this is actually a B&B I went to, so I am going to be building this off my memory. But let's get straight into the video. So, as a disclaimer, I did build all of this and I was recording. Well, I thought I was recording, but I actually wasn't. Now, I'm obviously not going to delete all this and do it again, so I am going to go through what I have built. Now, these are mountings, as the Airbnb I went to was in Wales and it had such a nice view. And obviously, I can't do the exact view because it's Bloxburg. What am I trying to do? But obviously, it did have a load of trees, but I'm not going to add all the trees over here because, gosh, we know how expensive that will be. And this is obviously a pool, but again, I am not willing to spend 100k, probably even more, on a pool down here. The main star is this Airbnb. Also, guys, I don't know what's going on with me today. It is not a pool, it is a lake. I don't know why I called it a pool, but it's a lake. So the first thing I'm going to do is change this whole, like, entrancey way to, like, a cobblestoney, like, do you know, like a pavement colour? We're going to do a pavement colour. I'm really stuck between choosing a lighter colour for the pavement or a darker colour. I think I do want to go for, like, a darker colour. Should we go for that? Like, around there, like that? I just don't want it to clash too much with the walls. Honestly, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. I hate when Bloxburg does this, so I'm just going to go over it somehow, because I don't know how I've even got it to that shape, but whatever. And I am just going to copy this onto the stairs. Why does it look a darker colour on the... Should I get rid of the thing? Yeah, that looks darker than the stairs when I put it on the stairs, but it's the same colour. So I did make the stairs a different colour to this, as it didn't really match, and now it kind of matches more. And I was going to colour this, and I just realised it's a part of the mountain, so I'm going to have to go in with a basic shape. Now, I have finished the driveway up to the Airbnb, and to say I know how to use basic shapes, this took me a long time. Now, if you've ever been to Wales in the UK, you will know that it's quite, like, hilly and steep. So if you're afraid of heights, you won't like it, as I felt a bit anxious when I saw how high it was and stuff. But where the Airbnb was, it was not that high as it looks. Now, there was steps to get obviously up there, so I'm just going to add some of them with basic shapes. So I have now done the little stairs, and I am going to look on photos as I don't remember the colour of the actual Airbnb, so I'm going to have a look at that now. Now, it was kind of like this, but a more straight wood texture, if that makes sense. So I will try and find something similar, and I will be back. So this is the best I could get. Are you joking me? So as I was saying before it did that, this is the best that I could get it to match with it. And this is kind of how it looked. And the roof was just like quite a dark black. Well, if that makes sense, but basically black. And I'm not really going to do the outside much, as there was a hot tub on the other side from where you park your car. But as you can see, I didn't leave enough room there, so that cannot be added. So we are going to move on to the inside. So I've just placed the floor, and this is what happens, obviously, because I've done that. And I don't want to delete this whole thing, as it took ages, so I am going to use basic shapes for the flooring, as much as I hate doing that. Now, the floor was a kind of beige, and it was obviously just like wood, so something like that, but obviously not facing that way. I don't know what I'm doing. So it was something like this, and I'm now just going to carry on that in the whole floor. Now, the walls were just plain white, literally plain white, so I will now go and change the colour of that to that. And I am going to add some wall trims just to make this look a bit more nicer than what it is. So moving on to the kitchen. The kitchen was quite a dark kitchen. So I don't know what counters. So they were quite like really modern counters, but they don't really have them in Bloxburg. So I'm just going to go with these ones as they are the cheapest. So these ones are the ones we're going to use. So that is what that looks like. And I really wish in Bloxburg, if you play The Sims 4, You can get corner counters to save it looking like weird, but if Bloxburg do add that, then I would be so happy about that. But obviously, I think it's like that, and then in the middle here, there's like a massive counter. Counter? What am I saying? It's a massive, I don't know what you call it, but I'll get it out in a minute and I'll show you. So it's in cabinets, and it's in the tall, like, pantry cabinet things. And it's like this. It's what you put your oven in, but they had, like, a microwave above it as well. And I'm not sure if I can do that, but we're going to see. No, so I did want to add a microwave above it, but obviously, as you can tell, it does not work. Now, the fridge was actually like a mini fridge, but I don't think they have them in Bloxburg. They just have like these ones, which I don't really want to pay Bloxburg for, as it's not exactly what I want, and it doesn't really fit either how I want. So I'm just going to use an average fridge. So they did have a hob here, and then they had an extractor hub on the top here. I'm just looking at this because this picture is like opposite way of how I'm building this right now, so this is quite hard. Now, there wasn't really any room for the industrial like hood, so I did go in and do this instead, and I'm going to add one above the fridge. I did not know this oven was so expensive, but that is where the oven's going to be, and here is actually where a sink is. So I am going to use this sink, and oh no, it didn't work. I think that's because one of them's overlapping. So I did end up fixing it, and there is a mirror here, but I'm going to try and see which one suits it the best. So this is the window I am going to go for. I'm just going to kind of make it a little bit bigger as the other one was, like that. And obviously colour it the same as the door, so it did look like that. And I am now going to go in and add like little decorations and colour the kitchen, and I will be back once I have done that. So moving on to a table, we did have like a tiny little table here where you obviously eat your breakfast in a morning. So it was something like that, but that's obviously too small. So I will try and find one that matches. So I am going to go with this one, which is like kind of close to it. It's a bit more bigger than what ours was, but it's the best that will match. And I'm going to try and find some chairs to match it too. Now, the chairs were like these chairs, and there was only 2 on this table. So this is what it kind of looked like, and I will go in and colour it. Now, moving on to the bedroom. Well, I do say bedroom, but it is still in the same room as the kitchen. What kind of bed did it have? I'm trying to think now. Now, the bed was something similar to this, and there was a little bit of space here. And I'm now going to add the bedding and stuff on, so I will be back after I've done that. So this is the best that I could get the bed to match it, and I didn't change the colour of the pillows. There we go. Anyway, so this is how the bed looked, and I did just remember something, but I actually put my phone in like this thing, like it literally looked like this, and I put my phone in there while I slept. And it was actually really nice, but I hate the fact you can't make it like more hollow. And then on this side, there was like a floating bedside table. Now, I don't know if Bloxburg have that. So Bloxburg do not have it, so I am going to do a basic shape way. So I did then add this, which is like a light as well, that was next to the bed. And I am going to be adding a picture frame here, as this wasn't in the Airbnb, but it just kind of clears up this random space here. So I have just added this picture, and I'm now going to move on to, I'm not sure what it's called, but it basically just had the TV remote and like the logbook in it, and then the telly here. So I'm going to go with this one and place it there. And I need to figure out what telly to add. And I'm going to choose this one, and we are now going to add like the decorations, so like the login book. And if you don't know what that is, basically you can put in there whether you stayed, and you get to put how your stay was, so basically other people can read it. And there's also like articles to know where to go in the area. So this is how that looked. And there was also, what I forgot to add, was a welcome mat right here when you walk in, which I think that's actually the opposite way round, so it should, yeah, it would be that way. Now, I am trying to find a door that matches the bathroom door, and the closest one I think is this one that I can get to matching the bathroom door. And after colouring it, this is what the bathroom this is what the bathroom door looks like, and this is where the bathroom's going to be. And again, I am going to have to use basic shapes as the flooring. Flooring in the bathroom is completely the same as the one in the main room. So obviously it's going to stay like that. And the walls are the same too. Now, the shower was so nice, but it was like a black marble effect. So I'm going to try and find that. I want to make it white first because there's no chance I'm going to find that in that. So as you can see, it is a marble effect, but as soon as I make it black, you can't even see it, but we're still going to do it. So I've just added a wall so that I can put windows on it and kind of make it look like, if I insert a picture, you will kind of get the memo of what I'm trying to create. And I'm also going to be doing the flooring a bit different. So I am going to be adding like a black marble flooring. So I think I'm going to change the colour to this kind. I've done it again. To this kind of like tone, because you can't even tell like the marble with this, so I'm going to change it to this colour instead. And now we are going to add the shower, and it was literally like this one, and the colour of the shower is obviously black. And the next thing is a sink, and it literally looked like this sink, and obviously I'm going to be adding another window here. And then right next to this is the toilet, if I can find it. So yeah, this is how the toilet looked, and then next to this is a mirror and like a little bin. So I think I am going to make this room a bit smaller, as this is way too much space, so I'm just going to trim it down a bit. So now that I've made this smaller, I'm now going to get a mirror as I was meant to do, and I am going to use a Bloxburg mirror. Even though I hate them a lot, we're still just going to use it. Honestly, I hate the Bloxburg mirrors so much, but I really couldn't find a decal to match it. And now I'm going to find a bin that I can put here. And before you go into the shower, they did have one of these, but can I resize these? I think, yes, you can. And in where the actual shower is, they did have something similar to this, but it was obviously a square. And I think Bloxburg do these, if I'm correct. Yeah, so it's like this, but it was much smaller. And there was a radiator here, but I can't seem to find it. So we're just going to have to leave it at that. And I'm now going to get into the tour. So obviously I don't have a car on this lot, so I am doing a whole trek up to it. So obviously here we have where you would park your car. I think I would add like a fence thing there. And then going up to here, you have your little decking, and going into the actual whole Airbnb itself. So this is how the kitchen turned out. Now the only thing I would change is probably using something to cover up this gap, but except from that, I really like it. I really like the black kitchen as well. I'm not a big fan of them, but I actually really like this one. And then going over to here where the bed is, this, honestly guys, this bed was so comfy at the Airbnb, honestly. And over here you have the guest book, and then what to do while you're there book, and obviously the television. And then going into here is the bathroom. Now, obviously it is a bit bare over here, but that is because obviously a radiator's there. And there was like a boiler room there, but that's not really important. And then going through here, we have the shower, which I love so much. It was so nice as well. And you have your sink and your toilet and your trash can. And that's mainly it, but it was so nice. And obviously we got to overlook the lake, not pool. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please consider subscribing, and I've linked my Instagram and my TikTok in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.